welcome back. If you're new here, sorry I was zoomed in a little bit, let's get back. If you're new here, I am Chelsea and I'm a mama of, I almost said of 7, oh my goodness, we're a family of 7, so a mama to 5, soon to be 6, so soon to be family of 8. It's coming super fast. This is my 23-week pregnancy update, which just kind of blows my mind. I was telling Aaron, I said, oh, I'm Chelsea. I don't know if I said that. I have horrible pregnancy brain. Mark that down as symptom number 1. I don't know my left from my right. I have brain fog like no one's business. I will leave the oven on all day long. But my kids noticed, so that's nice. They turned it off for me. Anywho, I was telling Aaron that I keep thinking, man, I'm just awful sore already. Like, if I do a lot by the end of the day, my stomach muscles are aching and my back is aching and my feet are aching and I just don't know why I already hurt. And then I'm like, well, lady, maybe because next month you're gonna enter your 3rd trimester and you are actually very pregnant. I was with my mom the other day and I just kind of rolled right into this video. I was with my mom the other day and she took some pictures of me just like standing, walking, like not posed. And she sent them to me and she was like, I just want you to see how pregnant you actually are. Because I always do this when I'm pregnant. I try to overdo. I think I can do all things. But I will tell you, man, I picked up Aria the other day, who is my 4-year-old and weighs like 40 pounds. Picked her up like 4 times. I don't know why, because I quit picking her up basically when I found out I was pregnant. I hurt so bad I almost like called my midwife, like, I might have done something. I hurt. I'm okay. Everything's okay. Baby is okay. But yeah, I think that's funny how I really do. I feel like, well, I'm only like 15 weeks. I shouldn't hurt this bad. No, you're 23 weeks and you should hurt that bad. No. But anyway. First we'll just get into pure baby stuff. Then I have a little bit of an update of just kind of why I haven't been posting, why I've been kind of quiet, things like that. So, alright, baby things. This baby is a boy, by the way. I just, you will have already seen the baby name reveal. His name is Hudson. Anyway, I posted on Facebook the other day and I said, if Hudson is as active on the outside as he is on the inside, I'm never gonna sit down. Like, once he gets mobile, he is like, I'm pretty sure, I mean, I know it's been over 4 years. The sun's going down and my lighting is leaving me. Over 4 years since I've had a baby, and by the time he's born it'll be basically 5 years, but I don't remember any other babies moving this much. Like, I felt him really early, and I feel a lot of my babies kind of early, but I mean, he felt really strong really early, which I talked about in my 16-week update. Like, he was a sumo wrestler in there and just super strong, powerful movements, and they still are. I was laying in the bathtub last night and I could see the outside of my stomach just doing this, which for, I think, you know, at the time 22 weeks, I think that's pretty big. I feel like maybe I'm forgetting, but I know just in the last week his movements have increased so much where it's almost like all day. I'm like, don't you sleep? Does he? I don't know. And I don't eat a lot of sugar, caffeine, things like that, so it's just him. And that's why I'm like, wow, if you are this active when you come out, I'm really glad I have a lot of helpers. Because, oh my goodness, you guys. And also, I don't know if he'll nap. I'm like, I don't think he sleeps. He is more still at night than any of my other babies. Usually they wait till nighttime to move a lot and they would wake me up. And all my other babies were really bad sleepers, y'all. Really bad. So postpartum videos, expect me to be a hot mess express. I've never had a good sleeper, ever. Until they're weaned. Ever. I'm talking about they wake up every like 1 to 2 hours. Not joking. And I know all kinds of advice will probably come in down in the comments. That's totally fine. I've tried all the things. But you can tell me down below if you have advice for that. I do not cry it out. Anywho, so he's super active and just super strong and all over the place and just big. So that's there. Oh, my nausea, because everyone keeps asking me. Because it's been the worst this pregnancy ever. In the last 23 weeks, I would say in the last 3 weeks, it has died down a whole lot, slowly. So it went from if you've seen any of my pregnancy videos, vlogs where I talk about it, it went from I couldn't really get out of bed unless I was going straight to the couch, and I was gonna throw up on my way there because walking made me puke. Eating made me puke. Anything. Laughing, feeling too strong of an emotion, eating, not eating, it didn't matter. I was gonna be sick, and it was miserable. Women who do that the whole entire time, I'm praying for you. Like, it is such a mind play also. It was for me. Mind play really bad, and I think that's why I've had some issues since at the end of my sickness, a little bit mentally. All of that is getting better. So about 3-ish weeks ago, it started dying down to where I would only be sick a few hours during the day, and the rest of the day I would feel fine. Like I might have a little bit of a wave if I laugh too much. That really makes me nauseous. And I laugh a lot because I have a lot of funny children. But yeah, just a few hours. And then it went from, instead of a few hours, just a few moments throughout my day. Like I know if I eat, don't stand up and go put your plate up. Sit there for a good 15 minutes, then get up and put your plate up. And just little things like that. And I still do that. But now it is basically just that. Like if I just eat, sit still for a little bit. I don't go too long without eating. I try not to laugh too much. I know that's silly, but I have to brush my teeth very carefully. All those things that all pregnant women kind of know to look out for. And then what was the other one? I kind of figured out also, because I do Trim Healthy Mama, that I couldn't do it where you separate your fuels completely, meaning you only have a fat meal or you only have a carb meal. I have to do what Trim Healthy Mama calls an XO, which is a crossover. So you do have fats and carbs in the same meal, but they're all healthy fats and carbs, and you're eating whole foods, nutritious foods, foods that are going to fuel your body, but I can't separate them. I found that if I separate them, I will get really sick. And I think that might have been playing a little bit with my nausea, because I was eating foods that sounded good to me, but I was still kind of separating my fuels out of habit. So I was eating a really heavy in carb, no fat meal, or a really heavy in fat. There is a fly in here because my kids keep going in and out. a heavy in fat, low carb. So now it's more balanced. It's not high in either one. Baby is going nutso in there, probably because I'm talking about food. Not high in either one, just a good mix. And I found that helps a lot with my nausea. I have also upped my protein considerably now that I'm not sick. I did have preeclampsia with number 4. So when I was pregnant with number 5, I looked at the Brewer's diet. You can Google that. I don't follow it exactly. It's a lot of food. I find it hard to eat that amount of food. But it's basically a whole lot of protein. Make sure you salt your food, which is a big misconception sometimes with blood pressure, by the way. So look into that if you are dealing with blood pressure. You can salt your food. It's actually very good for you. So lots of protein. And I find that this pregnancy, I do not crave anything sweet. I cannot stand the thought of ice cream at all. Oh, it's awful. Every once in a while, I'll want chocolate, but not a rich, like a dark chocolate. Not like a Hershey's, you know what I mean? Every once in a while, I will crave something like that. But for the most part, I want nothing sweet. Even if I'm doing like oatmeal or something like that, I don't want it super sweet. What I do crave is like protein. So I eat a whole lot of protein, which is good. That's what I need to be eating. And I find that when I eat protein, rich foods, like real high in protein, oh, the baby just loves it. Like he goes nuts for it. And then say I just go eat something, like I'm in a rush, so I just need to stop and grab something that's mostly just empty calories, carbs, or I do give into a little bit of a sweet tooth that I don't normally have, but with the dark chocolate sometimes, he might move a little bit. He doesn't really care. So I don't know why. It's weird. It's very weird. So I've been enjoying lots of protein full meals, and I'm not sure if that is helping with my weight gain, because I know protein is harder to digest and it can help if you're wanting to lose weight or maintain weight, or what, because I have not been losing more food than I've been taking in for about a month now, and I haven't lost any food in a few weeks now, and so I don't think it's that, but I've only gained 4 pounds and I am 23 weeks. Baby is good. Baby is growing. Baby is the right size. I measure good. So I don't know. I am overweight. I'm no skinny mini over here, which is why I was doing Trim Healthy Mama. And I know when you're overweight, you gain less. So like with Aria, I was a little bit overweight when I got pregnant with her, and I only gained 15 pounds. But my pattern is normally to gain a whole lot in the first trimester, a little bit in the second trimester, and not very much in the third. I will sometimes even lose a little bit in the third. That's just my pattern, and I know it's kind of opposite of a lot of people's, but that's just what I've done for every baby. So my first trimester, I think I gained 2 pounds. And then so far in the second trimester, I've gained 2 pounds. So I don't know. I don't know what is the deal, but I guess as long as I'm healthy and baby's healthy, we're gonna call it a day. I am sticking very close to Trim Healthy Mama, but like I said, I'm doing all crossover, so I am having carbs and fats, but I just crave protein and fruit. So I can sit down and eat so many blueberries and blackberries. My husband's like, you have turned into a bear. Like, you just want protein and fruit. And that really is. Quinoa is my favorite right now. Quinoa has a lot of protein in it, and I pair it with eggs. Oh, and some kale. Put some blueberries on the side. I could eat that 3 times a day. I am not joking. I don't. Sometimes twice a day though. I love it. So anyway, but the way I'm eating, or it's just past, I'm feeling a lot better. Not as tired as the first trimester. I do give myself grace. I take a nap a day. I'm not gonna try to act like I'm super mom over here and I got all my stuff together. I take a nap a day. Every time I'm pregnant, I wake up really early. I don't know why. And when I say really early, it can sometimes be like 3:30, 4 in the morning. I've tried to teach myself stay in bed, and make it till 4:30 to 5. And that works. Sometimes I have to get up and eat though. So I tried getting myself to stay in bed till 6, but I would get sick. So I'm usually up 4:30 or 5, which I know is not early for some people. A lot of moms wake up at 5. I do not. I wake up at like 8:30 normally. But pregnant I always do. So I'm waking up early. Forgot where I was going with any of that. Because I take a nap. And so I feel like around noon, I'm really tired and ready for a nap. My husband leaves for work at a little after 2, and so if I can lay down for a nap around between 12 and 1, I get enough sleep in, so that way I'm up in the evening and we can do our school and our chores. And y'all, I'm still ready to go to bed by 8. I'm like counting down the minutes. So I am still tired. I do feel like I have less energy this pregnancy than my other ones, even into my second trimester, but at least I'm not as exhausted as the first trimester. So that works out well. And I don't know if that's just age. I'm older this pregnancy than my other ones, or life. I had more children this pregnancy than my other ones. I probably have more, I have more responsibilities. I have more stress. I have more, all kinds of stuff than I did with some of my other ones. So maybe that's it. Or also, I think he's just gonna be a big boy and I think he makes me tired. Now watch, he's gonna come out tiny. If you wanna get a little TMI, I leak a lot of colostrum. I've been doing that now for about 4 weeks. Went to take a bath one day and I think I was just 19 or 20 weeks. And I was stuck, my bra was stuck to myself from all the colostrum. That is a sticky substance. So I leak a lot of that, which I take as a good sign. My body is ready. I have breastfed all 5 of my other ones, all past a year. Aria was almost 3. So that's happening. I already had stretch marks from my first pregnancy. I haven't gotten new ones in any of the other ones. You know, you can tell new from old, but I got huge with my first. So no new stretch marks to talk about. Lots of round ligament pain, lots of pelvic bone pain. My stomach muscles sometimes ache when I go to bed at night. It's getting hard to roll over. I have to like really work at that. That's fun. I do have to get up a good 2 to 4 times a night to go to the bathroom. But I'm so sleepy that I lay down and go right back to sleep. It's amazing because I'm normally not that kind of person. If you wake me up, I'm up. So that's been nice that I go back to sleep. I'm just trying to think of all the little pregnancy things. My feet hurt really bad at the end of most days. But But all of this is just regular. This is not over the top pregnancy symptoms. You're fine, honey, you can go outside. This is not over the top. I'm not in any way complaining. It's just, if you're pregnant, you will have those things. After I was trying to drink red raspberry leaf tea, I've heard, you know, 1 bag a day in the first trimester, 2 bags in the second trimester, and 3 in the third. I've never done that, but everyone told me that, and I researched it. Talked to my midwife about it, all those things, and apparently a lot of people do that. So I started that about 20 weeks, but I quit because it was making me have horrible Braxton Hicks, where it was like you would have to stop, not from pain, but from the tightness. Like you felt like you couldn't move. I couldn't move because my stomach was so tight. And so my midwife just said, you know, I don't think it's gonna hurt you or baby. I don't think it's gonna put you into preterm labor, but why be uncomfortable? That's kind of what she said. So I quit. But then I've noticed I haven't had any now for a couple of weeks. It took me a while to realize. I thought that's what it was. And I still have a couple a day where I'll have to stop and be like, oh, that's tight. That's really tight. But no pain, just really tight. So I'm not sure now if it was the raspberry leaf tea or just this pregnancy and me. Normally I wouldn't worry at all about them, but all of my contractions when I was in labor with Aria up until a few minutes before she was born were that way. None of them hurt. It was just tightness. So that kind of gives me a little bit of nervousness, because I feel like I don't know what to expect. Like I'm almost a new mom again, because with all my other babies, the contractions they're painful. I still did them all natural, and I have ways to cope with the pain. I don't know if Aria's was because I did study a little bit of hypnobirthing just like the month before she was born, because I wanted to naturally induce so I didn't have to be induced, and that worked. The hypnobirthing track to put you into labor worked for me, but I didn't know I was in labor. So I'll share that story. I'll post it down in the comments. So anyway, if you want to hear Aria's birth story, lovely. I would love to do that again. So I read all the hypnobirthing book, and I bought it. So I read all of it, and I'm gonna read it again when I get closer. And I've been listening to just the meditation tracks to that, not the ones to put you into labor, just the ones to relax. And I'm enjoying those so far. They make me sleep really well. But I am planning on doing hypnobirthing again, because if I could have a labor like Aria's, that would be great. My only concern is that I have a labor like Aria's in which I have no clue that I am in labor. I think I'm just having some Braxton Hicks here and there, and then I have a baby and like maybe my husband's not home, or I didn't have time to call my midwife. Yeah, I'm a little bit worried about that. So my midwife just said, hey, if you have Braxton Hicks throughout, like consistent enough, just call me and I'm gonna come. We are still planning a home birth. I know when I announced my pregnancy, I touched on that. I have lots of friends who have had home births, and they gave me lots of great recommendations, and I did choose one. So I am planning on doing it here. If you're a praying person, you can pray that this pregnancy goes well, that I am able to do that. I don't plan on having preeclampsia again, and luckily we knew beforehand. So if anything like that happens, I will of course go to the hospital, take my midwife with me, but I'm hoping and praying that this pregnancy just goes smooth. So far it's been a rough road a little bit, but baby wise he is fine and my health is fine. My blood pressure is great, by the way, and I do like the high protein, and I take supplements, and I walk every day, do things to keep it that way. But yeah, so if you're a praying person, you can pray that I am able to have a home birth. I'm so excited about it, you guys, and excited to share that with y'all. And it makes me feel so relaxed, because I know every time I'm in labor at the hospital, one thing that helps me to relax during a contraction is thinking of my home. And my mom would always be like, imagine anywhere in the world would you want to be right now? And I always said at home on my couch. I don't know why my couch and not my bed. I always say that. And she's like, okay, so we're at home and you're on your couch and that's what I would visualize. So the thought of actually being able to be home and just being on my couch or my bed or my chair or my own birthing ball, oh, it relaxes my heart so much. So I'm excited about that. This video is probably way too long, so I'm going to go ahead and talk about kind of where I took a little bit of a break. I did not plan, I gotta get comfortable, to take a YouTube break, and I realized it was just a couple of weeks. But even before that couple of weeks started, I was only posting like a video a week, I think, for a couple of weeks. And it was just, I sometimes feel like I will continue filming through some hard times. Like when my mom had surgery, I remember being really stressed that I had to keep filming. Even though I was so overwhelmed with her recovery, or her surgery and her recovery, I was so overwhelmed and stressed about her, you know, and how all this is going on and trying to keep up and getting to the hospital and all this stuff, but I kept filming. And then as soon as she was better and things slowed down, I kind of dropped off a little bit on the filming. I didn't quit, but I started going slower. And then I noticed when I was real sick and just having a lot of stuff going on mentally, I kept pushing it, feeling so stressed that I had to keep filming. And then when I started to feel better, I took a little bit of a break. And I'm not sure, I think that sometimes I push myself too hard. And so it's too much and I kind of break, and I have to take a break. And I feel like I was so sick for so long, and I've shared about this in vlogs and my last update, that it really played some mind tricks on me. I felt like the world's worst mother, worst wife. It led to some depression, and I'm emotional. I'll try not to get upset here. It's just hormones. I'm okay. I'm not dealing with any of that now. But the sickness led to depression, and it led then to anxiety. And in the past, when I talked about anxiety, it's a complete different anxiety than what I experienced in this pregnancy, just like a month ago. And I'm so thankful that that is gone. To have the weight of the depression and the anxiety lifted off my shoulders, it's like a whole new world. And so for anyone who's had to go through that or is going through that, I hope that you can see light at the end of the tunnel. I hope you have a support system. I hope that you are not too hard on yourself, and you can always reach out to me. I'd love to pray with you and just talk with you and just listen if you want to talk, and I will always be there to listen. So if you're dealing with depression or anxiety and you need someone to talk to, my email address is in the description box. Do not hesitate. And I know it's hard because I know when I was having anxiety with depression, sometimes I feel like I can talk about it. I haven't had depression a lot, but I have had it in my life a few times. And I've learned to talk about that and talk through that and work through that and get past that. But this anxiety, I'd never had this kind before. I've had more of like, I'm gonna be late anxiety. And so when people would talk about anxiety, I related it to that, and I didn't understand how they felt. And then this anxiety was debilitating. Again, I just have hormones. I'm not upset, for real. But I went from being stuck in bed because I was sick to being stuck in bed because of anxiety. And it was awful. And the thoughts that come with that and the feelings that come with that, I can't even put into words, really. And I feel a little embarrassed, to be honest, to be telling y'all this. But I want you to know that it's past now. I'm not having the anxiety. It's a lot better. But for my friends in like real life, I'm glad they stuck through and waited for me to feel better and didn't judge my absence too strongly. And I hope y'all here on YouTube can do the same and know that I just needed time off, because I did not want to try to film while going through that, and I was sometimes trying to film, and I actually had some what's for dinner footage and a few vlog footages that I just deleted because you could tell 100% when I would go to look at it that it was not me. Like, none of me came out. I feel like I'm usually a pretty cheerful person. You know, we all have our down days and our sad days, but when I would talk on those, I was just so blah. And I thought, I'm gonna put people in a sad mood if they watch this or upset them. But I did. I went through a lot of anxiety, and I had to take some steps to push that back and let that go. And I realized a lot of it was based on guilt. And I thought, okay, how can you fix this guilt? And I thought, I only have so much energy. This is when I was just still finishing being so sick. And I thought, and so tired. I'm a lot better now, but it was bad there for a little bit. You only have this much energy. Where does it need to go? Because I felt like I was giving it away to things that weren't beneficial to the life I want. Meaning I always want to be a good mom and a good wife. And if I'm giving my energy away to things that aren't building those up, what am I doing? Because that's my number one goal, right? I need to be here for my family, and I also need to have time for God. So if I'm spending all my time and energy, a lot of it was energy. I had to put my phone away. I deleted some social media apps, not because they're bad, because they were taking all my mental energy. And this is going to be long, and some of y'all probably don't want to hear this. You can turn it off now if you don't want to hear this, but certain things were taking too much mental energy, and certain things were taking too much physical energy. And I just had to decide. I was like, you know, I'm not doing the things that make me happy, and I'm not therefore producing the things that make my people happy. Does that make sense? Like, you can't pour from an empty cup. And if your cup's just full of anxiety, what do you think you're pouring out? A bunch of dread, I felt like. So I slowed down on a lot of things, and this video would be an hour long if I went into everything that I just kind of slowed down on. Social media stuff helped a lot. Just putting my phone in the other room, knowing that I would tell people I will answer texts at the end of the day. I will answer, you know, direct messages at the end of the day. I will watch one YouTube video in the morning before anyone's up. I'd pick like my favorite person or whoever had posted early enough for me to watch it. I will see all your updates on Facebook and Instagram at the end of the day or the beginning, but I have to put my phone up because I got to the point where my phone would ding of any kind. It would make me almost have an anxiety attack. I'm not kidding, because I felt needed in too many directions, if that makes sense. And so it's helped a lot keeping my phone away and just getting back to basics. What do I want out of my day? You know, I want to have time in the morning for God and myself. Be quiet by myself. I'm an introvert. That helps a lot. I want to read to my babies. Did that a lot. I want to get school back on track. Got that going back on track. I'm so relieved about that. I find so much joy in homeschooling. So getting that back on track is a real big deal to my heart. It's not just work to me. It's play to me. It's life. It is what I'm here for. And then spending time with my husband. And I'm like, that is who I am. That is what I want to be doing. So getting back to all of that and being a mom who shares joy and not dread. And I've let other things just kind of slide. And so if my videos are slow, or if they're not, you know, super consistent, or my what's for dinners are just kind of thrown together because I'm not putting as much energy into that because I have to choose. And other relationships in my life, we're doing a few less social things, just trying to pick the ones that I feel like we can handle, like maybe 1 or 2 a week. And we're just kind of getting back. I feel like I had to do that after so much sickness, and then depression, and then anxiety. I'm like, I feel like I've missed a good 4 or 5 months of my kids getting me. You know what I mean? And I understand pregnancy is pregnancy, and it's hard, and to give yourself grace, and you do need to give yourself grace, but you also have to stop and find the issue and figure out a solution you can try to piece together to fix it. And so that's what I'm trying to do. So I decided one of my things was I wasn't picking up my vlogging camera unless it brought me joy to pick it up. So hasn't brought me joy to even look at it. Gave me anxiety. It's been sitting on my kitchen counter collecting dust. And it honestly brought me stress to see it. I would see it and feel like a failure in a different area. So, but then, you know, today I saw my camera, or yesterday I decided to film a grocery haul. And I really did not want to, y'all. Really did not want to. But I did. I thought, just do it. Just get one thing out. Just get one thing out and let everyone know you're okay. Because I was having a lot of messages. And it kind of, I enjoyed it. I missed y'all. I missed talking to you guys. So, feels good to pick it up again today. And film. So, that's that. Pregnancy update. Mental health update. All those things. And like I said, it was a little embarrassing. It's also important because I know I'm not the only one who deals with depression or anxiety or anything like that. And if none of us speak out about it, then the ones who are having it silently don't know what to do. And you think you're the only one. Because in my brain, I know I'm not. When you're dealing with it, you think you are. So if you're dealing with any of those mental health issues, you are not alone. The thoughts are not true. You are a good person. Reach out and find help. And find the little thing in the center that's messing it all up. And fix it. Try your best. Find some joy. Do something for you. Anyway, me and baby are doing good. Everything is much better now. The light is shining at the end of the tunnel here. That's funny because it's actually shining. I hope you guys have a really blessed week, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye, y'all.